This came up on my feed. We're going to have a lot of men who are disillusioned, that become incels, find themselves in pockets of the internet, are resentful, all those kind of things. Should society intervene to course correct, that puts systems in place to make sure that those men meet partners? Nobody, not one single person on this planet, is entitled to a partner. In a healthy, well-adjusted, satisfying and rewarding life experience, you have more going on than just your partner. In case this dream of a perfect woman to wash your clothes and wipe your arse for you does not pan out, it's good to also be in mixed gender communities and have relationships with people that do not involve sex or sexual interest. At the foundational level, this is already dysfunctional thinking. It's dangerous for you because when you get into the relationship and it doesn't work out, or she's not as expected, the man who is already resentful becomes... The solution to incels is not for state-sanctioned marriage. It's for men to diversify both their interests and their expectations of life in general. Do you know how many men throughout history were completely celibate and lived in brotherhoods or as monks and priests and never saw a woman and felt no entitled to one either? Stephen Bartlett is out here trying to reframe your self-inflicted loneliness as a problem that the state must fix with coercion. Yes, it is self-inflicted. Yes, it is self-inflicted when you have a demand and an expectation that one woman, one lone hero, is going to solve all of your emotional issues. Join a fucking group chat, seriously. Because even if you meet that special woman, you're never entitled to her. She can always leave. The problem is these men define their own self-worth, their own value as human beings on whether or not they can get not just any woman, let's be clear, the specific prototype of white-looking woman that they all want. This is the other thing. A lot of these guys are so fucking fussy for guys that have lower sanitary levels than a troll under a bridge sometimes. I was single for 10 years. For 10 years, nobody wanted to date me. That is true. Nobody tried, nobody approached, nobody asked, nobody wanted to date me. They wanted to sleep with me, but they didn't want to be with me. They had no interest in who I was. That did not make me disillusioned or resentful. It forced me out of my comfort zone and it led me to having a vibrant and full social life that doesn't require or matter whether I'm in love or not, because love is one small piece of my gigantic, wonderful journey. And emotional, romantic relationships, sexual relationships, they're very, very difficult for anybody to navigate. They don't always work out. If after 10 years of being single, I finally meet somebody, but then after a year, it doesn't work out, do I just quit? Do I give up the rest of my life? Do I stop hanging out in community? Go join an alt-right pipeline? Nobody wants to date me? No. Obviously not. One standard for men and another for everyone else. But I also want to talk about the psychology of these incels and what they project versus the reality of how women think and function and what we actually want from a partner. This is a picture that I took of myself. I have legs. Incredible. A lot of men look at this and they do not see me. They see what capitalism has told them is their reward for hard work. So when I act like a complicated human with heavy emotions and financial independence, it fucks up their worldview. These guys were not just told, but promised that if they work hard, go to the gym, get some white-collar job, wear a suit, and peacock around with enough disposable income, that they should be able to have me. To the point where they want the state to intervene now and make that marriage happen. But then when they get with me, I annoy them because most of the time I've got a tracksuit on and I'm ranting about the government and I don't cook. I expect anyone who's staying with me to clean their hair out of the bathroom sink. So even when they win the game, they are left with huge problems. Because money, or what a group of alpha males in a group chat dedicated to Stephen Bartlett think, don't keep love alive, don't mean you're going to have a happy marriage. When you make life decisions based on the availability of legs, you forget a lot of important things like shared culture, similar values, mutual interests. A couple of points. Number one, your life can be completely happy and completely fulfilled even if you never have sex with a pretty lady, ever. Not once, not even one damn time. Even if you die the 40-year-old version, you could also be the guy who cures cancer. You could also be the most loved human being in your community. You can still leave your mark on the world. You can still have beautiful friendships without defining yourself by the heterosexual paterfamilias. The second thing is, in most cases with these incels, you don't need the state to intervene. You need to lower your standards. You let a lot of women who you could have a potentially beautiful life with pass you by because you believe you are entitled to size 10 legs and nothing else will suffice. These are the same men that will then leave that woman after she's had a baby because the legs ain't looking okay anymore. That's number two. Number three, there's a gross misunderstanding by men about what women actually want, what we are asking for, what we need from partners. I am recently single and back on the dating scene, and I am full of fear and dread. Ideally, you don't want your single women in the society full of fear and dread about even having basic interactions with the men. But when I show up to a first date with a guy and the only questions he has for me are, what do you do? What do you work at? Or the only things that he can say about himself are, I like to go to the gym. I listen to podcasts. I want to stab my eyes with the fork. My ex-boyfriend was a care worker, is a care worker for the NHS. He earns minimum wage. And some of the most mind-numbing conversations I've ever had are with these blokes who are investment banker, something tycoon, owns own business, 30 before 30. That is a nothing sandwich. This is meaningless. I don't need a provider, a big alpha male guy in a suit. I need someone with just the bare minimum emotional IQ. Someone who doesn't run when it gets scary. Someone who can tolerate ambiguity. A clear communicator, someone who shows you respect